Welcome back to my channel. This is Star Motivation, and I hope you guys' day is going amazing. If not, do not sweat it. It is okay to feel useless, worthless, or even on the edge of giving up. That is just what makes us human. But that is why we're here at my channel right now, because you guys want some more motivation or want to help somebody get more motivation. Each video that I post, I'm going to motivate you guys so you guys can get out of that hole, that rock bottom hole, because you guys do not want to be there forever. And if you let it, it will let you stay down there forever. So with further ado, make sure you guys hit that subscription button and that notification bell to get notified of every single video that I post, so you guys can continue motivating yourself and getting out of that impossible hole that you guys may be feeling that you're in. So a lot of you guys have already seen the title, and a lot of you guys are already shaking your head thinking to me, how the hell do you think you're going to experience anxiety attacks without the stress? The definition of anxiety is stress. Without stress, I won't have anxiety attacks. Well, see what I did there? We're going to lower the stress and anxiety that we have and be prepared before the anxiety attack happens. So when it happens, we are super prepared that it's almost like our anxiety attack went from up here to right here. So instead of having an anxiety attack, you're just having anxiety, if that makes sense. So like I did with my last video about explaining anxiety, I'm going to do the same with anxiety attacks, just for the people that don't understand what it feels to have an anxiety attack. So I am going to list symptoms. Just like the last video, not all these symptoms actually fall with one person on what they feel with anxiety attacks. One person might experience this symptom and this symptom, but another person can experience this symptom and all these other symptoms. So it is very important to just be able to recognize it, because if you see somebody experiencing some of these symptoms, you can be able to be like, hey, that person might be having an anxiety attack. This is how I can help. Okay, so let's go into the video about techniques on how to handle anxiety attacks. These are going to be called grounding techniques. So just as a reminder, these grounding techniques are just going to be able to get you back into feeling like you're in reality a little more than you were when you're in the anxiety attack. Just being able to be like, oh yeah, I have that coping skill that helps me with X, Y, and Z. So make sure you still use your coping skills with stress, all the other ones that you've already learned. These are just grounding techniques when you really feel like you're dying, you really feel like you can't breathe, you can't talk. These are just things to help snap you out of that too. So I'm going to start off with when you're at home. When you're at home, you should have everything around you, so you should be able to use all the grounding techniques that I mentioned throughout this video. But there's some that you can do, but you can't do in other locations, like changing your temperature through like a shower. So if you just go take a shower, it's really hard to do that when you're not at home. So changing temperatures of your body snaps you out, grounds you back to real life. It makes you be aware of what's going on so you can use your coping skills. You can also stand in front of your fridge. So if like your roommate, your family member is using the shower, you can just be like, you know what, I'm gonna go use the refrigerator, changing the temperature either way. And if it's like cold outside, you can also stand outside. I've learned that helps me as well. That's actually how I realized that I was having anxiety attacks, was that I didn't know what was going on. I was like, I'm feeling really weird, this is not normal. And then I remember just standing outside when it was snowing, and then all of a sudden, like, everything, like a light switched in my brain. It's like, oh, you're back. And so that's how I noticed that I had anxiety attacks. You can also pull up anything with words and start reading it, whether that's a book or something on the computer, you name it. Just start reading stuff out loud until you're able to just start breathing. This is a way where you can actually start working on your breathing. So reading stuff out loud is a breathing technique. Going into, you can use other breathing techniques that you have. If you're at work / school, that's the second location I'm going to talk about. You can focus on sourness stuff. So I have right here my Sour Patch Kids. Yes, they're really yummy. But I use that when I'm at work, school, and even at home. As you can tell, I have a package sitting there right now. When I have an anxiety attack, I know I can just go straight to that package or whatever grounding techniques that I have. In addition to the Sour Patch Kids, you can do anything that's sour. So you can do lime, lemon, salt packets even. So if you work at a grocery store, that's super easy to get. You can get any of those items. If you're at school, sometimes they have vending machines. So you can go to a vending machine and see if they have anything sour. Or if we go back to some of the techniques we learned in my home with everything that I said, you could change your temperature by getting an ice cold water from the vending machine. And the third place that I did is just with friends or family. I know that sometimes with the holidays actually coming up, it's kind of a couple months, but sometimes that can cause anxiety. What you can do is just, first of all, just remove yourself from the situation and then just take deep breaths, practicing on your meditation techniques, your breathing techniques. I can also make a video on different breathing techniques if you guys would like, so I can elaborate on this conversation. And then also when you remove yourself, you can also do the sour stuff. You can also go get something cold. Like I know if it's like winter outside, if it's during the holiday seasons, you could just walk outside. It's probably a different temperature. Just do anything that can change the senses. So if you can change the sense of your taste, great. And then I guess temperature is not a taste or a sense, but you know what I mean. So another thing that you can also do is if you're with your friends and family and just the crowd itself is kind of overwhelming, you can pull aside somebody that you feel confident and comfortable of talking to and just hang out with them and talk to them until you feel better. I don't want to say better, until you feel like you don't have an anxiety attack anymore, because it is completely normal to have anxiety attacks. Well, I guess that goes into my next topic, which is crowded areas / loud areas. So I'm thinking more like if you go to a concert, or if there's like hundreds of people in a room, like if you're in orientation for college or anything, and just the loud noise and just the surrounding of a lot of people is what's causing you an anxiety attack. What you can do is do headphones. Headphones do amazing if you're going to a concert and you still want to enjoy it, but the loud noise actually triggers an anxiety attack. Another one, practice on your breathing techniques, like I said, with school, work, or even like with friends. Anywhere you can use breathing techniques. So that is the fourth place I have. The fifth place that I have is just a trigger. So this kind of goes more into the more deeper side and stuff. So let's say somebody's doing something and it triggers you for whatever reason. What I would recommend doing is, if all these coping skills, all these things you've tried does not work, one, you can go and also search up on Google other techniques, or what you can also do is find a therapist, look into it. There's a lot of things you can get for free, like on YouTube with like therapy wise. Like I've been really searching, and there's a lot of things that I learned in therapy that I could easily learn on YouTube and stuff with people's like expertise. But if there's like a trigger and you don't know what it is, unfortunately you're gonna have to, I don't want to say unfortunately, it'd be a lot easier if you had somebody to talk to one-on-one, like on a session, like every week or every other week, to really delve into your personal life and your life, what's it called, life, and see what's actually triggering you. Once you know what the trigger is, you're more able to just like recognize it and be able to either avoid it or also just learn more techniques on how to handle it that might not be caused by an anxiety attack. So that is all that I have for this video. If you guys like it, make sure you guys hit the like button, comment down below if any of these grounding techniques you guys didn't know and think you might use in the future, or what your favorite grounding technique that you liked about anxiety attacks are. But until next time, I will be signing off. And you guys all deserve a gold star.